Good afternoon. This is Patrick Reid. I'm with Remax Realty Team, and you have reached the real estate data guy. I've been a real estate agent for a little over 20 years, and I've collected a lot of data. So this is all data driven and graphs. So if you like that kind of stuff, stick around. You'll find it pretty interesting. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen and we're going to start talking about some data. Now, I'm going to let you know right up front that, yep. So here's the information right here. If you want to get in touch with me, there's my name, telephone number, and email address. And I was going to tell you that this is unscripted. Okay, so you get into it raw, if you want to call it that. All right, so let's just jump right into it. The first screen, what we have here is the county totals of active and sold. The blue line is active, orange line is sold. You'll see that the county, at the beginning of the month, we had a little over 7,000 active single family homes, and the county closed a little over 1,400 for the last month. This one here is also active, but it's broken down into cities. So the black line is total, blue is Cape Coral, orange is Fort Myers, gray is Lehigh, and the yellow is the Bonita Staro. So you'll see that the actives are starting to roll over and downtrend, which is kind of a good sign. That means there's not as much competition. Although inventory is still rather high, quantity sold broken down into cities once again. You'll notice that in all three cities, I'm sorry, all four cities, sales were up for the last few months. What that tells us is trend. We're seeing that sales increasing. That means more people are coming into the area and they're liking what they're seeing, pricing, that kind of thing. But inventory is still a little bit higher. So it's just something to kind of keep an eye on. Here we are broken down into median sales price. So this is what has the prices that have currently sold over the last, within the last month. The orange is Bonita Estero. Sorry, yellow is Bonita Estero. Orange is Fort Myers. Blue is Cape Coral, and the gray is Lehigh. So you'll notice that Bonita Estero area has always been kind of up and down, really kind of not super consistent all over the place. While Fort Myers, you notice for the last few months, we've been seeing a downtrend in pricing. Cape Coral, which is the blue, took a little bit more of a spike down, and Lehigh has been seeing more kind of a flat with a slight downtrend in pricing. So Lehigh currently was at a median sales price of 310. Cape Coral had a median sales price of 365. Four and a quarter for Fort Myers, and Bonita Staro had a median sales price of 720. Absorption rate. A lot of people don't really understand what absorption rates are. So if you look over to the right-hand corner, tap my mouse. If you look right over into this area here, you'll see where it says 5. What that means is that there is 5 months worth of inventory in the area. The slide is specific to Cape Coral. It is broken down into southeast, southwest, northwest, and northeast. So you'll notice that in general, we can say that there's 5 months worth of inventory. So if you took all of the inventory, you stopped all the inventory right now. Nothing else came on the market right now. Cape Coral has approximately 5 months worth of inventory before we are zeroed out. So yeah, you'll notice through the time, just a few months ago at the beginning of the year, we had 7 and 11 and 12 months worth of inventory, depending on the quadrant of the Cape Coral that you're in. Cape Coral, again, broken down into off water, which is blue, fresh water, which is orange, Gulf access is gray, and direct access is yellow. You'll see that for last month, the direct access had $770,000. Gulf access had 741,000. Freshwater has declined to 389, and off water had a median price of 330. So now you'll notice that the freshwater and off water have been kind of flat with a slight downtrend that we're seeing. Gulf access and direct access has been bouncing around. And the Gulf axis, which is the gray, had a pretty good spike from last month. But if you sit back and you just look at the trend overall, so back up and just kind of look at the graph as a whole, you'll see that the overall trend is trending down, right? So, which is good for buyers. Not so good for sellers because the homes are worth a little less than they were, quite a few years ago. Here we have the actual quantity sold of the different types. So blue, we've got off water, orange, fresh water, gray, Gulf access, and the yellow, direct access. Now, there may be some people out there that don't understand the difference between direct access and Gulf access. Direct access means you can dock a boat in your backyard, okay? And you have no bridges to get under. Now, direct access and Gulf access both get out to the Gulf. That's not the problem. What we call Gulf access here is that you're behind at least one bridge to get out, okay? So that means you can't really have a flying bridge on your boat. Okay. Uh, Obviously, you can't have a sailboat because it's too high. So what we're seeing here, Cape Coral had off water, pretty good, 339 off water sales for the month of January, March, April, May. 83, 59, and 42 for freshwater, Gulf access, and direct access. You'll see that freshwater had a little bit of a spike, while Gulf access and direct access were both kind of flat. This next one is specific to the southeast Cape Coral area. Okay. And these are currently active median prices. Okay. So the top one, which is a direct access with a pool, the current asking price is a median range of 899, call it 900. The gray is Gulf access with a pool. What we have here is 630, call it 637. The lighter blue is a freshwater with a pool. Okay. And that is 5 1/4. The dark blue is at 400, which is off water with a pool. And the orange is 300, which is off water, no pool. So you can see there's a very large difference between off water, pool, no pool, around $100,000, which is approximately correct if you were to try to go out and have a pool installed in today's market. You're looking at 80 to 120 for a decent pool. Southeast Cape Coral. These are quantity of what's on the market. Okay, so you can see there's still quite a bit of that's what's on the market, except for the freshwater with the pool is kind of flat, only 35. The Gulf access had a little bit of a drop. The off water, actually, both of the off waters are kind of flat with a little bit of a downtrend, while the direct access with a pool, we've seen a little bit of a increase in quantities over the last few months. I know this looks kind of really fuzzy, right? Kind of crazy looking, but these are the actual quantities of what has sold in the last month. So we've got the most at 33, which is the off water with a pool, followed up with no pool, which is 30, 21 for direct access, 15 in the Gulf access, and 10 freshwater with a pool. Here, this slide is what has sold last month, the actual median sales price of what closed here in the Cape, specific to the Southeast. Okay, so you'll notice overall, if you sit back and look at the overall trend, you'll notice that the trend is flat with a slight downtrend. And this particular graph goes all the way back to 2022. So direct access with a pool closed out at call it 742. Gulf access closed out at 577, almost 578. Freshwater with a pool had a nice little bump at 502. Off water with a pool had a downtrend at 337, and off water, no pool, ended up at 261, 500. I certainly hope that this was informative for you. If you are thinking about moving to the area and want to know a little bit more, want to get in touch with me, you certainly can just send me an email or send me a text or just simply give me a call. You could also go to redatiguy.com and you can actually pull up some of the graphs that you saw today or some other ones. I kind of mix and match and throw in there what's really kind of good for you for this month. So okay, so that's it for this month. Uh, Keep an eye on my page. If you'd like to, please go ahead and subscribe. That way you'll get notified when something new comes out. All right, guys. Thanks again, and I will talk to you soon. Real estate data guy, Patrick Reid with REMAXRealtyTeam.com. Signing out. Have a good week.